We import people from Mosambiek when we need an interview, you see. People who make a difference in real people's lives every day, who don't just blah, blah, blah. They go out and do the work. Those are the kind of people that we love to speak to here on Radio Pulpit, 657 AM. So this morning, we have got Grant, how do I say it? Franke or Frank?
Franke is eintlik
Franke.
Yeah, that's the German form of it, yeah. But South Africans like to say Franke, like a hart and duidelik.
Grant Franke.
Yeah.
Okay, so you live in Mozambique, but you only went there about 8 years ago.
No. We went there in 2005.
Yes, and I did the maths to 2013.
Yes, we had a 2-year break in between.
Yeah.
Where we came back to South Africa. And
okay.
then we worked as teachers in a tribal school amongst the Makua people, my wife and I.
Okay.
Where we did Portuguese. We taught in Portuguese, and then we ended up running a big high school and everything in Portuguese. Because I'd lived for many years amongst the Xhosa and learned to speak Xhosa in South Africa as a Christian, and had kind of come to faith through mainly Xhosa people at that time, and a long story which we haven't got time for now. But I really had a heart to learn the Makua tribal language, to see that whole verse in Romans which says, "For God has revealed His character within creation." I really believe there's a lot of ways we were doing things. We were building brick schools and teaching in Portuguese and doing maths, and the kids loved it and the parents did, but I felt in many ways we were missing the roots of the gospel amongst the people because we were ignoring their language.
Okay, hold on. You're jumping in the middle of the story, yeah?
I am.
But I first have to find out who you are. I mean,
Okay.
you've got a family, you normal people. If you had to introduce, this is my lot, my tribe, when we went now to Mozambique, who are you guys?
All right. Rihanna is from the Karoo. She's my wife. She's from Lensburg in die Karoo. So ons is tweetalig by die huis. And I am originally from Cape Town. My mother's from London, so we are very English at home. So the
Promise means a promise, yeah?
It was die boereoorlog al vir rukkie. So we have 3 children. One studying in boarding school in Kenya. The other one is with us, little young one, and our oldest is in Stellenbosch. He's studying engineering right now.
You're spreading the Christianity all over the globe.
Oh, and the stress, the stress, yeah. Global family, typical South African family nowadays.
What's your son studying?
He's studying engineering. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, mechanical
So what's the
engineering.
plan? Have him study the engineering, then bring him home and have him build.
We still feel that we want him home.
Of course, yeah.
We're not. I've met parents who say it's time for Buti to leave, but we've definitely not there. We would love to have him home.
No, we told our kids we'll take the small holding behind us and the one beside us, and then I don't know why other people want to get rid of that. I want them right there under my wings. I want to see their grandchildren.
You want
and
a
everything.
village. I want a village.
Yeah. But why did you guys feel Mozambique? Why go there?
I always had when I was living amongst the Xhosa, I worked as a missionary there.
This is not Eastern Cape.
Eastern Cape.
Okay.
I worked for about 8 years amongst the Xhosa people, and I really felt in many ways they were reached. I wasn't there as a missionary. I was there as a fellow Christian worker.
Okay.
And I began to really get a heart for what about where the word has never been heard or understood. And a tribe came across my heart and mind at that time called the Makua, who are the biggest animist tribe in the world who are unreached.
What's animist?
Animist means they don't follow any formal religion, but they follow religion whereby they talk to spirits and believe the spirits are in nature, ancestral spirits. Like kind of the African traditional religions is another way of putting it.
Okay, but tell me now, you were scanning through the internet, or how do you land upon?
No, there was a little Bible
obscure
school in the Eastern Cape.
Okay.
And one of the teachers there said, we should pray for the Makua. They are the largest animist tribal group in the world who are unreached.
And God says,
and
bing.
when he said it, it just bam,
Yeah.
it hit me. And I began to pray for them.
You were now married already?
No,
Not
I was
yet.
single. My wife at the same time, she was, well, I won't tell you where she was because then you'll know our age difference.
Yeah.
I think she was in grade 2 or something like that. She
Yeah.
was in grade 3. We're 9 years apart, so I can tell you. But she was also praying for the Makua. That was always on her heart. And then later on, I ended up going into teaching, Christian teaching, and I met her at the Christian Teachers College. And we only realized this about 3 weeks ago. I said, you always wanted to go to Mosambique, not the Makua. She said, no, I was also praying for the Makua.
Oh, my word.
So, yeah, cut a long story short, we ended up, after teaching in South Africa for several years, we moved to Mozambique. We were invited to teach at a little mission station right up in the north, in Makua land, in the bush. We had our 3 children there, and our youngest was 6 months when we went, all in a bakkie. And
Oh, so they're fluent.
yeah, well, they were fluent in 4 languages. And for those of you whose children are in language confusion, the secret is everybody stick to your own language. So I only spoke English to the kids. Rihanna speaks Afrikaans. They have their Portuguese friends and their Makua friends. And that way they were fluent. And then
Sorry, the Portuguese.
Yeah.
Where does this come in?
Because a lot of Mozambicans have adopted Portuguese as their first language.
But did you have to learn it there, or did
We
you
had
have
to
a
learn
background?
it. We had to learn it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So we learned
2
it.
languages.
We had to learn 2 languages to really minister to people, and for us it was a big jump, because of knowing Xhosa. Actually, you said this right in the beginning, but too quickly. Because of knowing Xhosa, I realized that whole verse of God has revealed Himself through His creation, that people often who are close to nature, our background often misses. We rush in and we do development projects and we build buildings and we do maths lessons and teaching, and there's a world behind, which is a mixture.
Yeah.
Some of it is dark, but some of it has godly gifting, which is there, and we miss it. So, and because of that, the people come into kind of a dual form of belief. They become Christians, they serve God,
Sort of.
but then in behind they say, but this is my culture, and then they run off to witch doctors and
Yeah,
all
but
the
you
rest
get
of
in
it.
trouble if you back out of that. I mean, there's a whole fear thing behind it, that if you neglect the forefathers and everything like that there will be consequences on you and your family.
Absolutely. But we've discovered something after 20 years in Mozambique.
What?
Started to discover that Jesus is the way, the truth, and the life. And when you truly, truly are faithful to His word in people's lives, in their language, in their lifestyle, we don't put up brick buildings, we don't run with strong programs. We do literacy and we do radio in Makua Nahara, and then we do herbal medicines. So people, we enrich their herbal medicine culture. We don't do the spiritual medicines. We don't do physical medicines. And when you do that, they come free.
It's a connection point.
There's a connection, and they themselves see. We had a guy the other day who said, you know what, I want prayer, because in order for my wife to have children, we went to the witch doctor. And that thing has been a binding on my family.
Oh, wow. Truth, and the truth will set you free.
Truth will set you free.
Mm.
He saw it himself. I don't need to tell him. I'm not the one who's prescribing what he needs to believe. We teach the word, and when they start to read, they read the word on their own, and that speaks to them.
Okay, but I am curious, because you this whitey, and now you come here to a brand new, not only the culture is different from yours, but they're established relationally. They're a community. And yeah, you come from the outside now, and you want to come minister to me and tell me what's true and what's not true and anything. How long did it take for you to get there and be part of what's going on?
I think there's a principle in missions we always talk about: be a good outsider.
Oh, okay.
Be a good outsider. So, ons huistaal is Afrikaans en Engels. We are South Africans in our culture, and we love a braaivleis. We love watching the rugby. We talk about the struggling rand and the traffic jams and all of that. We are South Africans. But when I step into the village, like Paul, I become a Greek to the Greeks. So we eat what they call mantopa. It's kind of a heavy form of pap. We eat the fish the way they eat it. We eat the leaves the way they make it, and we speak their language. And over the years, I mean, here's one of the classic things that it's been said to me, and it's been said to missionaries who are in the same kind of, we know you're not one of us.
Yeah.
But after all this time, we realize your heart is as black as ours.
And that's a compliment. It's as black as ours.
So I would say, in a nutshell, relationship is what defines trust.
Yeah.
It's not language, culture that does fall away, but relationship. And when you take language and culture into account, you can form that relationship. Yeah.
We find in South Africa many times cultural differences is one of the reasons that there are misunderstandings and even conflicts sometimes.
Huge.
The way we show respect would be different from the way that someone else in another culture shows respect. And right there, you've already lost the connection.
That's right.
What did you learn culturally that you had to adapt to now connect with people's hearts there?
There's so much stuff. I can highlight a few small things, but the main principle is, as long as people see that you want to learn, they don't mind you making mistakes, as long as they're genuine mistakes. If they see that your heart is, I want to know you, I want to love you, and I want to bring God's word, beautiful are the feet of him who bring good news.
Yeah.
There's a principle there. And the feet of those who bring good news, those feet are human feet. So they make mistakes, they blunder, they say the wrong things at the wrong time. One of my biggest mistakes is I'm forever making plans. I'm forever thinking about tomorrow and the future. And the people I'm working with are saying, Grant, be here, be now.
Relax.
Relax, but think now.
Yeah.
Think of me and you right now.
That is very Africa.
That's
Yes.
very Africa. And that teaches me. I in turn bring my richness of my minds in the future. It also needs to be there. But I would say like little things, for instance, like there's so many. Asking someone their age. Hey, how old are you? No.
Never.
People don't know how old they are, and you've put them in an incredibly uncomfortable position.
Oh, my word.
Asking someone what's your name. A name is a very precious thing in Bantu culture. You don't just throw it out there. Modern people I meet in South Africa often have forgotten this, but in the villages, in typical Bantu culture, Africa culture, rather strong, someone will come to you and say, I want to give you my name. And at that point, they're saying, I like you and I trust you.
Oh, my word.
But to you to go straight, how old are you? What's your name?
So what do you do in the meantime? How do you address one another then in the meantime before you've got a name?
Every African language has strong titles. So there'll be a brother or a sister.
Oh, that's why there's a Morena or something like that.
Morena, Buti, Sisi.
Okay.
You work within those titles. Mama.
I didn't realize that. I just learned something new. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So when they come and actually say, I want to give you my name, it's really precious.
It's special. Sure. Yeah, it's really special. And then often they'll have two names. They'll have their name they'll have like in Mosambiek, they'll have their Portuguese name, which they use when they go to town to get a job or something like that.
Yeah.
But then they'll have their language name, their home name. If they give you that name, it's very special. Yeah.
So tell me about the radio and the radio program there. Is it a Christian station? What is it?
Yeah, there's a missionaries before we were there had a dream to start a radio, to actually start a private radio, Christian station, because of the history of slavery and all the rest of it in northern Mozambique and colonization. It's so hard to come in as a foreigner, no matter what color you are. White makes it even worse, but even people who are dark of color and come from an African cultural background still battle to get in with the Makua Nahara. They're from Eastern religions. They are from very, 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 very strict and conservative, animist and
deeply entrenched.
So it was always a dream to do a Nahara radio station which reaches out over the whole of Nahara. So they're hearing the truth without having to see who's bringing it. So
in Africa loves its radio.
Oh,
we do.
Everybody loves the radio. Little radios, they buy them for 30 Rand and everyone's listening.
Radio on the shoulder that's booming.
Exactly. We also give out little MP3 Bibles with the whole Bible in Makua.
Okay.
So you'll see them walking down with those things on their head or in their top pocket as they're riding their motorbikes. Anyway, so a German missions organization actually approached us and said, if you have any chance to do radio, please, we want to get involved. And they actually only ended up funding us for a year. But
hey, it kick-started everything.
It kick-started. Other people climbed in. But so what happened was, when we arrived, I was still scratching the surface of the language. Some Brazilian people invited me to do a Portuguese word. And I did. It was actually the national radio station where you hire an hour a week from them. And I turned around and I said to them, so I did the word, shared everything, Portuguese, a Christian 1 hour, and I thought how powerful this is in an area where the word of Christ is really minimal. And they said to me, I said to them, is this in Makua? Long story short again, we ended up with an hour a week, Nahara, where we actually do creation to Christ in their language. And it's gone from literally the Brazilian guys, if they get 20 people calling in, they're happy. We have to stop sometimes.
Yes.
500 messages.
They're hungry.
Yeah.
They're hungry.
Very
Okay, we've got 30 seconds. If people want to connect with you, with your ministry, want to see what's up, how they can get involved, where do they go?
Okay. I'm just gonna give right now my WhatsApp number. I work under World Outreach International. There's a website, www.worldoutreachinternational, I think .org or .com, and you can go there. You can type my name in, Grant Franke. There'll be something about our ministry there. My WhatsApp,
number?
I'm going to give up my WhatsApp number. So it's +258, it's a Mozambican code, 86461 550. I'll repeat it, 86461 550.
That sounds like a Hollywood number.
Does.
555.
It does.
Okay, what I'm going to do, I'm going to post it for you on Facebook. I'm going to post it so that you can, I know it's just too long to write down in the traffic. We realize this. Not to worry. We write it down for you on Facebook. You can get a hold of it there. Or even if you want to find it afterwards, World Outreach International. WhatsApp me and I'll reply back and give you the details if you need it. Thank you very much. We're proud of you.
Thank you, Janine. No, we're all proud of each other, aren't we?
Kingdom.
That's right.
Okay, we'll quickly go and come back and then we'll see what's up.
Tree vir tree saam met jou. Bly ingeskakel en